Oh my God, whose church is it anyway? Some of you guys who watch my channel in the past probably heard me say that before. And I usually say that when I see something that's like totally ridiculous going on in so-called God's house of worship. And when I see that, obviously it's pretty clear to me that that is not God's place of worship. I don't care what they have on the door or what the name of the church is. And that's why I say, whose church is it anyway? Because if it's not God's church, guess who church it is? Satan. There's only two masters. So I just came across this story that I thought I would share with you. This is a perfect example of what's going on in some of these churches, as I'm sure most of you know. This guy, he's a pastor, he refuses to step down after sex tapes with multiple women are made public. He is in the tape, clearly having sex with different women, and he refuses to step down as the pastor of the church. Let me just go over a little bit of this for you and with you. Hosea, that's his name, Hosea Stubblefield, a 32-year-old recently divorced pastor, Baptist pastor from Houston, Texas, with a fetish for making sex tapes, is refusing demands from his members of his congregation to step down after he was outed for making sex tapes with multiple women. Some allegedly from his church, some of the women are from his church, and during his failed marriage. Not surprising that this guy's wife left him. Stubblefield, who leads the Salem Missionary Baptist Church and is named after the Old Testament prophet Hosea, who God commanded to marry a prostitute named Gomer, was forced to confess his behavior to his congregation after clips from some of the tapes he made were posted on a blog by a woman identified as B. Call, who claims they had a relationship that she ended after he asked her to make a sex tape with him for the last time in September. So she was fed up. He kept asking her to make the sex tape, and he asked her again in September, and she was like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here." So she said, quote, after his last request for a sex tape on September 25th, 2016, I chose to end everything with him. And again, he threw a tantrum and went on a delete and block spree, wrote Miss B. Cole. Quote, he again became dismissive because I refused to make a sex tape with him. I wanted to question him on why he would even want to make a sex tape, and he's in the position that he's in. But that would be like the pot calling the kettle black, right? I later learned he was making sex tapes the entire time we had reconnected, the woman explained. So he was already making sex tapes with her. She just didn't know it. So he wanted her to make one with him knowingly. Reporters with Fox 26 said, we've actually seen the video and verified it is Stubblefield with members of the congregation, but the video is too explicit to show. Now, like I said, or if I didn't say it, let me say it now. I'm going to leave the description, in the description, the link to this article if you want to read it in its entirety. But you guys, please be careful when you go into these churches. And always, regardless if you're going to the churches or not, remember, the most important thing is your relationship with God directly and Jesus Christ. Accepting him as the Savior and getting to know him via his word so you can have a relationship with God. First and foremost, even if you go into these churches, you must have a relationship with God. We don't worship the pastor. We don't worship the church. We worship God. And if you choose not to go to church and you have a relationship with God, that's okay too. Because good churches are becoming few and far between. It's hard to find. They're hard to find. So it's very important to have a relationship with God. Okay? Thanks for watching. God bless. Peace and love.